there's this misnomer that we are owed perfect health. Like there's this, I feel like specifically in America, there's just this like, I deserve to be healthy. And I hear that. And then I think, absolutely, I think, originally you were created to have a beautiful, bountiful, healthful body and spirit and mind and heart. But the reality is we all have a story to walk. We're all here to move through something and to learn and to grow. And that doesn't happen if everything's perfect, right? Typically.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah.
I say we have the privilege to be healthy. We have the privilege to be born into a body that is miraculous by every right, by any scientific measure of it. You talk about what is the most complex object in the known universe. It's the human brain. It's the human body as a whole. That is, it's just remarkable what we can do with it. And, and so that blessing of just being in it, even if it's sick, it can heal so much. People don't never think about this. You talk about trillions of chemical activities happening every single second. You talk about a body where a paper cut, you don't need to do anything. It heals itself. Do you need to breathe at night? Do you need to digest? Do you need to think about these things? Like, think about how many miraculous things are happening right now that you don't even think about, but are happening for you to survive in a, you could say, somewhat hostile environment. Tons of bacteria, viruses, as we've seen throughout the pandemic. Yeah, we got viruses around, and sometimes they don't really like us too much, right? And you got things out there that are constantly trying to kill you, right? And at the same time, we've evolved into such incredibly adaptable and self-healing mechanisms. And then you go into the other side of it, of that, emotional and also spiritual beings. Like it's really remarkable. And I think that idea that like, I deserve to be held, like, you have the right to be, sure, but what are you doing to preserve that? What are you doing? Like, again, if our body were like really expensive objects we had to pay for, we'd be putting like premium gas in it. Like I got my car last year and I'm just like, I'm treating it so well, taking it to the car wash. My first car, because I was in New York City, the first car I ever bought, right?
Yeah.
F40, by the way. And so I know that's such a New York City thing, right? My first car ever, F40. I did drive before, though. I grew up in Long Island, so I have my like driver's license since I was a teenager. But I cared for it. I was like, oh man, that's a pretty big investment, right? And I was putting, premium gas in, which right now is ridiculously expensive, but I was doing it gladly. I wasn't even thinking about it. It was like car wash, vacuum in. Like if I saw a little something on it, I'd like lick and, rub it off really quickly. Like imagine every single human treated their body like that.
Yeah.
We would be so freaking healthy. It'd be like, you don't need this, I deserve it. You just would be. And that's the point is, we are all the culmination of our choices. That's it. Our health is just the trillions of choices we make throughout the day. To whether be nervous about this, whether to take the breath, to eat something, to think a certain way, to act a certain way. That's it. And so, I also feel like sensitive people get locked up a lot in those choices. Is it the right one? Is it the wrong one? Is this one? I'm ruminating over what happened last week with that choice. Like we got to flow. We're never going to make 100% right choices. But as I have always said, and again, we live in an environment that inherently we've even created, which is kind of unhealthy. So many chemicals out there that we just can't get away from. I try and be organic as much, but of course, you're going to get a pesticide, this, that, air is filled with all sorts of stuff. So you're going to get toxins in you. But I will say it's which one is, if you have that kind of, legal scale that balances out with, little weights on them, everything, which side do you find yourself on? Because there's going to be some weights on the negative side no matter what you do. And that's okay. Don't get upset by that. Even wrong decisions. Sometimes you might even, outweigh the negative sometimes. But get back either into balance, homeostasis, or, trying to put more, on that healthy side with your actions, with every single choice you make from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to sleep. And even when you're asleep, what you have around you when you're asleep. So many great things you could do. And again, I feel that is empowering for me. And there's so many like companies and people out there that are working on that to help you get healthier and help you combat some of the things that we know are out there that aren't good. And look at what we've been given also, Jesse. You talk about something like 5G or EMF, which is negative for the body. We know that. And you look at something like shungite, that's just like this weird little like rock or something, but has been shown to neutralize the effect. It's just amazing how nature gives us the answer, even when it's a man-made problem that it could have never thought of, ahead of time. Yet there is always an answer in nature if you just seek it. And that to me is like beautiful. That to me gives me hope no matter what is thrown at us, no matter, how many things we feel are negative in this world. There again, it's the law of polarity. There is going to be a solution, and there probably is already. You just need to seek it out. And I think a lot of that comes from sticking to your authentic self, applying the tools to really get into that level, and then having that almost attracted to you, or at least seeking that out and finding it.
Yeah. And the key to what you just said is your authentic self, knowing who you are. And from that place, being able to be in that state of surrender, openness, like your dad, and things will just come to you.